Well, hello again. Danny Vaughn here, and we have reached part three of our DV Q&A. Um, if you haven't seen one of these before, I've just started doing them where I'm taking questions. People are writing into either the Taiketo website or the Danny Vaughn website with questions for me or for other band members, Taiketo related, wasted related, anything that's reasonable. We pick a few things and decide what to talk about. So, a couple of people have asked the same question. This came from a gentleman named Ian, as well as my friend Sandy Hall. And they want to know how I keep my voice in shape. Well, first of all, coming from Sandy, you know all about how to keep a voice in shape. Sandy is an amazing singer. Who I had the pleasure of singing a couple of songs with not too long ago. Um, for me, it's a little bit of a story. I'll try and keep it short, but first of all, there's a certain amount of luck involved. Some people have written some things that are not so pleasantly worded when it comes to, well, I'll be quoting someone here where it's like, why is Bon Jovi's voice so bad now and yours is still as good as it ever was? Well, thank you for the compliment to me, but don't shortchange John Bon Jovi. If you've seen that documentary, there's something you got to remember is that guys like John, um, uh, guys like Joe Elliott, who still sings very well, those guys all reached a point in their career where they made an incredibly difficult choice, which was they had the choice of becoming the biggest band on the planet. There's that you're peaking, and you're reaching that top. And when that point comes, your management will come to you and say, "You can do it. We can make you the biggest band in the world as long as you are willing to tour for 2 years without stopping, except maybe for Christmas breaks." Someone like John Bon Jovi has played at the top of his game for 30, 40 years under grueling schedules. It was only in the last several years that he was able to dictate his own schedule and perhaps take it down a notch or two. When you ask the human voice to put in those kind of hours, it's going to get hurt. There's no question about it. Nobody survives that. So I am not the least bit arrogant about, well, I can still sing like me. I'm grateful that I can, but I didn't have to put in those kind of workloads. Taiketo was never a big band. Even last year we had a big year. I played 30 something gigs last year. So that's one of the reasons that I'm still in decent shape. Um, the other side of it is just taking care of it, taking care of myself. About 10 years ago, I developed laryngopharyngeal reflux, also known as silent reflux. It's different from most acid reflux cases because you don't feel it. You can eat anything, you feel great. What it does is instead of the acid coming out at the stomach level, it goes straight up to the larynx and splashes on your vocal cords. Now, your esophagus can repair itself, but your larynx and your vocal cords cannot. So you're under serious danger once you start splashing acid. And so many singers I know are taking omeprazole every day so that they can eat good food, and still sing. Omeprazole, however, has its dangers. And I was very, very lucky. I saw a fantastic ENT in Sheffield when I lost my voice completely. And it's the only time it's really ever happened to me. And he said, you have to treat your voice like a footballer treats his knee. So I had to become really a monk for like 3 months. A low acid diet is brutal. It's so restricting. I would go to restaurants and just open the menu and just cry because there was nothing on it I could eat according to my diet. But the idea was to bring it back to zero and then be careful about what you introduce to your diet. This led me to the vegan diet, which has really worked for me. Up until 6 years ago, I was strictly vegan. I did it for, no, sorry, up until 2 years ago. I was vegan for 6 years. Now I eat fish. So not strictly vegan, but no dairy, and that has made a huge difference as well. So diet is a big deal. in everything, especially as you get older, which I'm also doing. So diet, keeping in good shape, doing some of the warm-ups. Funnily enough, one of the most strenuous things you can do to the voice as a singer are meet and greets, especially after shows. You're usually someplace loud, maybe the club's still playing music, people are right here shouting in your ear, you're trying to shout back to them, you're pitching your voice at a level you do not need to be doing after you've just gone out and done an hour and a half set of your highest tunes and all that sort of thing. It was sort of a blessing as a side effect of COVID that we stopped doing meet and greets for a while, and I got stronger again. I got stronger when I went vegan, there's no question about it. And I got stronger when I didn't do as many meet and greets and things like that on tour. I don't know if I'm going to keep up with that regimen or not as far as the meet and greets. I will do some occasionally under like controlled circumstances. Of course, it's also, meet and greets are a great way to get sick when you're on tour and you're meeting 30, 40, 50 people a night in a different town all the time. Somebody's going to have a cold. So there's luck of the draw and all of that. So some of it is just good luck. Like I said, I take care of it. I rarely drink. I've never smoked. And I think that's contributed to the longevity. And I'm just grateful that I'm still able to perform almost every song out of our catalog in the same original key. That'll change. It has to. Age happens. And here we are. And here I am, 63. And getting ready to do a whole bunch more touring right now, feeling good and strong, and writing songs for the new Tyketto album here in the studio. So that's my story. Sorry if it rambled on a bit. Thank you, everybody, for asking. And thank you for the kind words, Sandy and Ian, about my voice. It means a lot. It really does. And as I said earlier, if you've got a question that you'd be interested to have me address, any kind, write into tyketto.com or dannyvaughan.com. And we'll do one of these every now and again. So it's even time here, and I'm going to go back to work for a little while. And I wish you all a very, very pleasant and peaceful good night.